Okay. Okay, thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Just when you thought your day was over, we are here to add a dash of inspiration and a sprinkle of fun. After all, who needs Netflix when you have Toastmasters at 8:30 p.m.? So I welcome you all to the Learning Lounge Session 3, Summit of Excellence, Part 1. Some ground rules that we follow during the meeting. Please turn off all the noise-making devices like mobile phones or put them in silent mode. Considering this virtual setup, please ensure that you mute yourself if you are not speaking. Let's remind ourselves about the mission of Toastmasters International. We empower individuals to become effective communicators and leaders. Our district mission is we build new clubs and support all clubs to achieve excellence. Our timer for the event is Toastmaster Rajeshwari, who's our Area 2 Director. Our tech wizard, our Zoom Master, is Toastmaster Vishak, our Area 1 Director. Now, moving on as per our agenda, please join me in welcoming a dedicated Toastmaster with 7 years of experience, whose journey has been one of growth, leadership, and inspiration. As a past President Distinguished Area Director and the founding President of Sparklevy Toastmasters, she has built a community that celebrates personal development and empowers individuals to reach new heights. Beyond Toastmasters, she is a passionate mathematics teacher. She's a plant enthusiast who promotes modern farming methods, finding fulfillment in nurturing growth, whether it's in her students, her plants, or people around her. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Division Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Malika Nair.
Thank you, Rashmi, for that lovely introduction. District leaders, fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Welcome to Learning Lounge Session 3. Learning Lounge is Division G's own learning platform where unique learning experience is passed on to its members. Today, we are diving into the new and improved Basecamp, the online hub for all our learnings and progress tracking in Toastmasters. Whether you are just starting out or a seasoned member, Basecamp is where you will find all the resources, tools, and pathways to enhance your communication and leadership skills. In today's session, Area G2 Director, Toastmaster Maria will explore what is new in the Basecamp interface and review how to navigate its features more effectively and learn the tips for maximizing your educational journey. Whether it is tracking your Pathways project or completing evaluation or accessing resources, our goal today is to make sure everyone feels comfortable and confident with Basecamp's offerings. So let's make most of it, and best wishes to Maria. Over to you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Malika Nair, for that wonderful address. So everyone, buckle up, because we are going to climb Mount Everest, except with less snow, more strategies, and no frostbite. Our esteemed trainer here needs no introduction, but those who are all new here, she currently serves as the Area Director of Area G3. She's a champion public speaker. She was the second runner-up in the evaluation contest and a finalist in the International Speech Contest at the district level 2023-2024. She works as Associate Product Manager at HR Block. Please welcome Toastmaster Maria George, who is here to help us reach new heights in Toastmaster. Maria George, the platform is yours.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for that wonderful and lovely introduction. It made my day at 8:30 p.m. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the question of the year, am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's start with a question. Another question. Why do you think Toastmasters International came up with the term base camp? Of all the words that it could go around, it finally ended up with base camp. Why?
It is the place from where the climb starts.
Close, somewhere close. So if you were to play hot and cold, Rashmi Joy, Jyoti is very, 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 very hot towards the answer. Any other answers, base camp?
Where you can make your journey from the base camp to the Everest. So you can reach your milestone, whatever your goal is set.
Okay. Again, a very, very close answer. So we do have a trekker with us who is our timer. So she might have a totally different, the technical and accurate definition of a base camp. So what I believe is that when we use Toastmasters, we are going to ascend a peak of excellence. And that is why I named the session Summit of Excellence. So we reach the peak of excellence. And when we do that, we need resources. So when we are trying to trek Mount Everest, when you're trying to climb Mount Everest, there would be base camps that would provide the trekkers or the climbers with necessary food, water, and every other equipment, right? Similarly, in Toastmasters, the base camp provides all the necessary tools that is required to climb this summit. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Summit of Excellence Part 1, where we explore what is new with the base camp. So, I see in the audience there are a couple of people who are new to Basecamp, and what's in store for us today? We'll be looking into how to navigate Basecamp as a Basecamp user, how to navigate Basecamp as a Basecamp manager, and a little bit of tricks and treats that are there towards the end. So we'll be covering three sections, which includes Basecamp as a user, Basecamp as a manager, and a little bit of secrets. So as a user would more cover the level completion, how do you complete the levels, and some other added features. Are we all set, trekkers? Okay,
Yes.
I see. Yes. All right. So I'll just share the screen. Do let me know if my screen is visible. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
I'll just move this a little bit here. So this is your home page where you log in and they say, welcome, Maria. So I've logged in already. And this is our home page. Now there are three options. I'm not going to the below part. So this is my education and achievements. So this is the base camp, this is the learning hub, and this is the achievement board. Now before we set out on a journey, we need to know the path, right? So let's start with choosing the pathways, which most of us are familiar with, but let's take it as a refresher course. So moving on to the learning hub, which you select the language. So for a piece of information, Toastmasters is available in a lot of languages, some of which being English, Arabic, Dutch, Spanish, French, and this is simplified Chinese. We also had the pathways in Tamil and Hindi as well, but with the transition of the new base camp, that has been removed. So I select English. So those who are curious to go ahead and check out the pathways in France, or in French or Spanish, feel free to do so. Now there are two ways you can select a path. Point number one, let's say you're confused. You don't know which path to choose, and we have a variety of paths to offer. So you take your assessment, and Toastmaster International will suggest three paths, not one, not two, but three paths according to the answers that you give in their survey. So when I took the assessment 5 years ago, they gave me three different paths: dynamic leadership, leadership development, and presentation mastery. So if you are not very sure of which path to go ahead for an assessment and they will suggest three paths, and from that you can make an informed choice. Let's say you want to see which are the other paths, you would like to read more about it, or you are sure that you want to go for a particular path. This is your option. So you can see there are six different paths. Earlier we had 11 paths, now we have only six paths. So the 5 paths that are not there with us will be termed as legacy paths. So some of which is leadership development, then you have innovative planning, team collaboration, effective coaching, and one more is there. So 5 paths that will be taken off will be called as the legacy paths. Now these legacy paths are available to all the members who have purchased it or are working on it before the transition. So if you have been working on a legacy path right before the transition of the Basecamp, you will still be able to access it. However, if you are a new member, you will only get to choose from these 6 paths. So this just gives you a tidbit. So you can see build your skills as an accomplished public speaker. Just one line sentence. If you want to know a little deeper, you just have to click the hyperlink here. This gives you a brief description about what the path is, and you can see all the projects in this path. So we have 5 levels. These are the 5 levels. What are the different projects that come into place? You can also see the electives. Electives are those projects that you can choose from. So these are all hard coded. You need to do all these projects. But from level 3 onwards, you can choose from different projects. And each level will have different number of elective required. So we'll circle back to that a little later. So these are the ways you can choose your path. So if you're currently working on a path, let's say if you're currently working on any of these paths, let's say dynamic leadership would be grayed out and would be somewhere here, just to indicate that this is the path that you are working on. Now, quick question, team. Can I buy or purchase dynamic leadership twice? As in, I'm working on dynamic leadership right now. Can I purchase another dynamic leadership at the same time, simultaneously? I hear no response.
No, Maria.
Why you want to purchase another dynamic leadership when you already have one?
That is
Exactly
one
my
way to look
question.
at it.
You can't.
So,
The pathways will get blacked out. Like it will get blocked.
correct. So one way to look at it is why would I need 2 dynamic leadership at the same time? And the second way is technically when you're already on dynamic leadership, you cannot purchase it because it's already grayed out. But you can buy it once you complete your first path. So let's say I completed dynamic leadership for the first time, then I can still go for dynamic leadership the second time. In case you're curious or you want to really work on that path again, this option is available to you. So, with that being said, we have chosen the path. We go back home. We go back to my home now. And let's start with the Basecamp. So, please know that I am a Basecamp user and not a Basecamp manager. We'll deep dive into the difference between Basecamp manager and Basecamp user a little later time. So, this is the page, this is the landing page. So, when you log into your Basecamp, you see the paths and learning section. And there it is divided into 3 sections, one of which is the active paths, the suggested learning, and the completed paths. So I have no active paths as of now, which reminds me I should talk to my club officers to get one path. This is a suggested learning path. Now, the suggested learning path is completely different from the pathways. This is like a supplementary course that helps you in your Toastmasters journey. It has got nothing to do with the pathways you have purchased. This is done based on the current role that you have in your club and your pathways progress. So based on that, Toastmaster International suggested that I take the Pathways Mentor program. For different people, there will be different suggested learning. Some might find club coach initiative. Some might find club development or club growth initiative. All this would be the suggested learning. Again, it has got nothing to do with the path that you have bought. It is just based on your pathways progress and your club officer role or the role that you have at your club. Toastmasters suggests that this would be a great tool for your journey in Toastmasters. Moving on to the completed paths, these are the paths that you have completed. So, as you can see, I have the dynamic leadership, I have the visionary communication, I have the team collaboration. So, the easier way to distinguish between, the legacy path and the path that is there in the current Basecamp is the background color. All paths that are there right now have a background blue, and all the paths that are legacy paths have a background green. So we have 4 different paths have been completed. Now let's say this is one point there might be a slight difference. Let's say that one member has completed their path. They have completed it, but it doesn't show up in the new Basecamp. There can be two reasons. One, you have not completed it from your Basecamp. So the older version of Basecamp, you needed to complete from the Basecamp. Then you had to make the Basecamp manager approve it from the Basecamp and the Club Central. So you have completed from the Basecamp, but the Basecamp manager has not approved it from either one of this place. So in that case, don't worry, we still can access it. We still can complete it from the Basecamp over here. So in that case, your path may not show up. In case you're sure that you have completed your path but it doesn't show up, please do a quick round check whether it's pending from the Basecamp manager at the Club Central side or the Basecamp side. Either way, you can do it from the Basecamp right now. And so this is how we go ahead. So let's just take one path. So I'm going ahead with a new path, which is the dynamic leadership. Takes a little time. Okay. So one more thing, a point to add is when you log into your Basecamp, you come to a paths and learning section. There's a likely chance you encounter a page called the privacy and consent page. So if you have logged in for the first time after the transition, there is a high chance you see a lot of questionnaires with regards to do you want to receive the notification with your paths from via mail or text. So a lot of questions would be there. If you encounter such a page, answer all the questions and click on save. Until and unless you click on save, you will not get rid of the screen. The screen keeps coming back. So please do save your answers. In case you save the answers and you still have the screen there, there are two ways to resolve it. One, you refresh the page and you clear your history. And the second one is log out of Toastmasters and then log back in. This can be done only after you save the answers. So please do save the answers in case you come in contact with the screen, the privacy and consent screen. Now, this is how your path looks like. You have the level 1, the level 2, the level 3, level 4, and level 5, and finally the path completion. You can see each one has got a small bar, which is a very, very unique way of showing where your progress is. Under each level, you get all the projects that can be done. So you have the icebreaker, the writing a speech with purpose, and so on and so forth. In case any one of the speech or any of one of these projects are not completed, you wouldn't see the check mark. So check mark indicates that that project has been completed. Now let's just dive into one of the projects. It's taking a little bit time. All right. You can track your progress here, so it's 100% complete. In the meantime, Toastmasters who have used Basecamp before, okay, I couldn't ask my question, so I'll circle back. So this is the new pathways. This is the new Basecamp with the new projects. So we have a lot of updated icons, the updated pictures, and a lot of interactive features. Under the resource group, we can see all that is required to complete our project, right from the project checklist, evaluation resource, the entirety of the project that you're doing, and then you have the worksheet. All this is downloadable in a PDF form. Moving on, as I mentioned, in the earlier Basecamp, to complete a project, we had two sections. One was assess your skill before and assess your skill after, right? So you assess your skill before doing the speech or delivering the speech, and you answer certain questions on a scale from 1 to 5. And then after you deliver your speech, you assess your skills after delivering the speech. What change has been brought about? Again, on a scale from 1 to 5. And with that, you compare, you get a sort of a report card to compare. Okay, this is how it is. And then you complete your project. In a similar fashion, we can find that in learning in the icebreaker. This is also known as the know, wonder, and learn section. The learn part of it will come at a later stage. So here we add what do we know about icebreaker? Let's say I know icebreaker is the first step in the Toastmasters journey. I can add that here. Wonder. I need to know what do I expect from this project? What do I expect to learn from this project? I can add that. I can add as many as 5, know, and wonder. Just 5, but you need to add that. So this is like the assess your skill before. So you can see the next page, or you can navigate from here. Next comes the complete your assignment. Now this is like the project checklist. You have a lot of tasks over here. So schedule your speech with the Vice President Education. That's the first step. Second step, write your speech, research your speech. You can check all this off. So the reason that I have my project completed without checking any of these boxes because I have completed my project in the legacy term when it was the old Basecamp. In addition to this, you can, check all this checklist. It's like a checklist for before delivering the speech. Actually, when you deliver a speech, you need to plan and execute. You need to talk to your vice president education. You need to write your speech. You rehearse your speech. You send it to your mentor. The mentor gives you feedback and all the procedures, everything, in so that you don't forget any of the procedures or any of the steps taken. All this is given here. And if you feel that you need to add a task, you can add something and that will come up here. So the checklist varies from different project and for different persons. These questions would be the same, but you can feel free to add new task. Next comes the evaluation section. Now this evaluation section is not for the evaluator but for the speaker themselves to understand that how is these criteria. So to come under exemplary, what are the criteria that needs to be met? To come under excels, what are the criteria that needs to be met? So review the criteria for the evaluation in this project so the speaker can focus on these particular areas and enhance the speech. So this is your project checklist. That is how you complete your assignment. And now you come to complete your project, which is like the second last step. Now this is just as same as the assess your skill after. So here, as you can see, this is the learned section. You had the know, you had the wonder, and you had the learned section. As you can see, there is no add new item here because you've already added it in the first section and that would show up here. So you add up whatever you have learned over here and you can add again 5 members. So you can add 5 points and that's your assess your skill after. The next is one of my favorite speech Basecamp features, which is your speech log. Now, speech log refers to a historical collection of speeches. You can add your speech title, the date you choose to, deliver the speech, the club that you're presenting in it. Actually, it's a club that you're a member of. And then you can select your evaluator, then the evaluation form, and the request description. So here comes, okay. Oh, excuse my spellings. So I gave my speech title and I'm scheduling my speech for the 20th of November. I am a member of a single club, so it's HNR Block Toastmasters. So once I select my club, I get to see all the members of my club and I can say, okay, so and so member, I can choose my evaluator. And then I can choose my evaluation resource. Even though I'm on an icebreaker speech, my evaluation resource is arranged for all the projects in this level and it is arranged in the uh, all the projects in the the evaluation resources for all the projects in the levels in the pathways. So you have level 1, level 2 and level 5 and it will be arranged in the alphabetical order, which means icebreaker. Now the request description, let's say that I want an evaluation from Jibu and I say, Jibu, not just the evaluation part, don't just stick to the evaluation criteria. I want you to analyze on my choice of words. Please evaluate me on the choice of words. Please evaluate me on the crutch words that I use. Please evaluate me. So all that can be added over here and I can save and send an email. So when you use the speech log, you have an option to send the evaluation resource to your evaluator via mail with just a click away. You can also use this section without choosing your evaluator, but you need to choose your club. So you can choose your club, you can leave the evaluator blank, and you can save the log. So this would be a historical data of when you delivered which speech or in which club in at HNR block, under which club and on which date, and what was the speech title. This is not necessary for you to complete your project. So you don't have to touch your speech log to complete your project. However, you have to do it for the know, learned, know, wonder, and learned section. And finally, to complete your project, we go on to before you move on. So here you can see before you move on, review your learning, deliver your speech, receive your evaluation, assess and reflect. So all these things. So assess and reflect comes under the no wonder learned activity. And if all these have been completed, congratulations, you have completed your icebreaker speech. So since mine was completed beforehand, I would see the screen. All right. A quick tip, all the levels, all the projects in your level can be completed in different orders. So you can do your icebreaker speech first, and then after a short break, you can do it in a different order. You can go for the next project. You don't have to do with L1 P2 itself. You can do it with L1 P3. But we would recommend that you go in a cyclic order. You do the L1 P1, L1 P2, L1 P3. So you can log the levels in different order. You can do your levels in different order. You can log your projects in different order. You can do your projects in different order. However, you will have to log your levels in a cyclic order. So you have to level completion for 1, then level completion for 2, level completion for 3, and so on and so forth. So that is it from the Basecamp use side. Now just let's look at the level completion. This is the level completion, and then we go ahead. Let's go for the pathways completion. So quick update from the Toastmasters International with regards to level completion and the path completion is that earlier the Basecamp manager had to approve it in 2 places, Club Central and Basecamp. So if you miss out on either one, it wouldn't go through and you wouldn't get your credentials. But here, you just have to submit it from the Basecamp and it would be automatically pushed to the Club Central, which means, let's say I raised a request for my L5 completion, VC5. I just raise it from my Basecamp, and my Basecamp manager gets a notification that this particular person has already raised a request. Please do approve it. Now my Basecamp manager clicks on approve, and that's it. No Club Central, no other navigation, just the Basecamp. You can see this is the pathways completion. Your level completion, your path completion, everything under one stop called the Basecamp. So this is again, since I've completed, it would show just the check mark. Congratulations, your path is complete. So this is how it is for a Basecamp user. Now let's move on to the Basecamp manager. And I hope my screen is still visible. Team, I can't see you. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now you can unmute yourself and I have a quick question. Who are the Basecamp managers? Basecamp managers.
All the club
Who are-
officers.
Okay.
President,
Everybody
VP
agree?
Education and Secretary.
I didn't get you, Susan ma'am. 1 second.
President, VP Education and Secretary.
Okay. So we'll hang on to that answer. Second question. Vishag, me, Raji, and Jayant, we are all area directors. Can we be Basecamp managers? Can we be Basecamp?
No.
We are
No.
Yes, provided you are also a president of the club.
If you're a club.
Okay.
No.
Sure? Everyone sure? So I heard somebody saying a little bit of answers. I heard Dave saying, yes, you can be, provided you are the president or you are one among the club officers. So being a Basecamp manager or Basecamp user is based on the role that you have at your club. So in my club, if I'm a member, I'll be only a Basecamp user. On the other hand, Rajeshwari is the president of Toastmasters of Trinfee. She becomes a Basecamp manager. It is solely based on your role in the club level. All right. So Susan ma'am had said the Basecamp managers can be president, vice president education, and the secretary. That was the case the prior Basecamp, but from now on, the Basecamp manager can be all 7 of the officers, which means when you click on the Basecamp manager tab that's right next to your name, all the approvals that's pending. So let's say Jibu has raised a request for level 3 completion request. So he has raised a request. Whether I am the president of the club or the secretary of the club or the VPPR of the club, I get to see who or have raised a request. In addition to that, I can also get this as a bell icon. So I have a notification that says Jibu Nair from my club has raised a request. So and this phrasing goes like this: review and approve or deny my leadership development level 3 completion request. On clicking review, let's give it some time. I get to see all the paths or the projects that he has completed. And let's say one of these projects have not been completed, I can deny it or I can approve it. To the Basecamp managers, which are the 7 officers. All 7 officers have the rights to approve it and deny the path. Now let's keep the procedure very streamlined. So ideally, it is a VP education who approves all the education goals, right? So in case the VP education is not available, it becomes the president or the secretary who approves the paths and the levels. In this case, let's just maintain transparency and integrity. Let the VP education and the other club officers know that who is going to approve which level. Let it be one person. I would say let the VP education do the approvals. In case the VP education is not there, let the VP education choose somebody, president, secretary. Since all 7 of them have the access, you can go ahead and choose. So that is the approval side of it. Moving on to the another question. Jibu is actually our treasurer. So he is also Basecamp manager. Do you think Jibu gets to see his level completion request in his Basecamp manager module under his approval?
No.
No.
But he's a Basecamp manager. He gets to see everything, right? Trick question there.
He gets to see, but he
Yes.
doesn't get to approve himself.
Approve.
Actually, there's a slight twist. He doesn't even get to see it.
Mm.
So that's what Toastmasters International has said. I have not tried and tested. So maybe Jibu, after the call, you can, definitely check it out. So what happens is that to maintain integrity, we say that you cannot approve your own level. You need somebody else to do it. So in the prior Basecamp, if the VP education raises a request, it was the president who used to do it. In the absence of the president, it used to be secretary or however the clubs decide. So the same applies here. You cannot approve your own level completion. It has to be somebody else. Moving on to the member overview. Now, the member overview is a high level overview of all the members in the club. And it gives you all the details. So, the last speech, the completed parts, the highest achievement, the current credentials. So, we have Devika Rajesh with Presentation Mastery 3. The highest achievement is level 3. We have Srija, whose current credential is DTM, and she has level 4. And then we have Alex with path completion as the highest achievement and is again a DTM. All his completed paths are shown here. And we have Jibu, IP5, and so on and so forth. So you can see me in VC5. This is my credential, Maria George, VC5, Visionary Communication 5, and my highest achievement is path completion. Now you may wonder, why is this last speech, blank? The last speech refers to the most recent speech that you have logged in under your speech log. So if you use the speech log, all the details that you have presented, let's say the speech title, the day of the speech that you have done would come up here. So the VP
Maria,
education,
Maria,
yes,
your
yes.
screen
Maria,
is stuck. It is not moving. We are still seeing your path completion.
Uh-oh.
Can you
Okay,
please just stop and reshare? Thank you.
yeah. How about now?
We see the membership overview. Yes.
Yes. So as I mentioned, the last speech refers to the latest speech that you have logged in your speech log. So that's a very helpful tool. And it gives you, so the VP education or any Basecamp manager can just have a bird's eye view. Okay, Raki here has completed her last speech on this particular day. It's time for me to ask her to deliver another speech. Or what are the completed parts? So this is the membership overview. The next one is paths in progress. And this will take a lot of time to load because every member who's got one path, every single path that they have is occupies a single line. So if you have 2 paths, it takes 2 different lines. And if you have a lot, entire data has to be loaded. So that's why it's taking a bit of time. So H&R Block, Toastmasters, they've got quite few members and each one of us have quite few paths as well. So as I mentioned, there you go. You have the member name, the pathways, presentation mastery, the level, the path completion, all the details are here. So let's take a look at Devika Rajesh. You can see that there's a green check here, and then there is something to be completed. Let me explain this with one scenario. Scenario number one, when you get the green check. You get the green check only when you have submitted your level completion request. So if I completed all 4 projects in my path, let's say I have 3 projects. So here I complete all 3. I don't submit my level completion. It would be 3 of 3. When I submit my level completion, it becomes the green check mark. So sometimes you can see that the person has got 3 of 3 and there is no green. So that's your indication to go ahead and check whether they have raised a level completion has been approved. Sometimes, scenario number 2, since it's level 3, sometimes you get to see 6 of 3, 7 of 3, 8 of 3. That's because from level 3 onwards, you have electives. As I mentioned, they are projects that you can choose from but are required. So if you're very enthusiastic, you want to do a lot of electives, you get all those accounted for. So sometimes you see very enthusiastic members going ahead for 6 of 3, 7 of 3. No need to be alarmed. That's because they have completed, that electives. So that is the pathways in progress. You can see everybody. I'm trying to find my name in this. And I have, I think this is not sorted order. Yes, there we go. All the A's and in the uh, order, in the alphabetical order. So moving on to the recent activity. Recent activity is for the Basecamp manager. Again, what is the recent activity for each member? So we have Jibu who raises completion request on November 13, 2024. Yesterday he raised the request. So that would come up. In the last 60 days, what was your activity for each member? Whether being a purchasing a path, enrolling in the pathways, submitting the level completion request, level being completed, pathways being completed, all this will be here, but it will only contain 60 days of data. So this is on November 24th. As on January 14th, 2025, this would not be there. So these are the recent activities that would be there for the last 60 days. So these are the few things that the Basecamp manager can do. Now I did promise that we had little bit of tips and tricks that we had. So let's just go to my club. Now this is again available to all the members, irrespective of whether you're a club officer or a member. So we have my clubs. It's taking a little bit of time to load. Oh no. Okay, so I'll switch over to my side. I come back to dashboard. So since it takes time to load, any questions till the screen comes up? We can take 1 or 2 questions or any doubt with regards to where we have reached.
Just an open call out. If you have any questions, please do put in the chat. We will take the questions as we go now. Yes.
All right.
But it's still loading only.
Okay. How about now?
No,
No?
still loading home, my club. We don't see any content.
Are you seeing my dashboard, Maria or Sanjana?
Sanjana.
Okay.
Sanjana.
Okay, I left that place, so I'll just share it again. How about now?
Yes.
All right. So the My Clubs. So if you're a member of 2 or more clubs, you get to see all the clubs that you are listed in and all the members. This is again available to every single member out there, irrespective of whether you are a Basecamp manager or a Basecamp user. We can see all this. So let's say I'm going to view Alex's profile. All right. So this gives me an idea of who Alex Rajan is, his interests, his introduction, everything that he has given at Toastmasters org in your profile will be updated here. his achievements, his feedback. Let's not dive into his achievements and feedback. Instead, let's go back to my own profile right now. And this is my about page, my achievements. And under achievements, all the parts that you have completed, they come as learning badges. So let's say dynamic leadership 1, 2, 3, all this is there. And all the parts that these are the legacy parts. So you can see that this is there. It's in the legacy form. And the other ones are in the new form. A quick update, I can share this on any platform that I have utilized in my profile. So I can share it to LinkedIn, I can share it on Facebook. All this can be done with just a simple click, the share badge. And then the feedback that I receive from other people, or I can give feedback. So feedback can be not just the evaluation feedback. You can also give feedback. Hey, you did a good job as a grammarian, or you're very inspiring. You can give feedback. It can be just one single line. It can be a badge. So a quick look on this. So my club is HNR Block Toastmasters, and I'm giving. Let's see who's the lucky person we have. Alex. I'm going to say Alex is a very inspiring person. I'm sorry. We'll just do it again. Alex is a very inspiring person, so I'm going to give him inspiring as a badge. And it's visible to all club members. So when I go there, oh, I need to give this. All right. So a quick update on that, and I post the feedback. Once that is done, when I go and visit Alex's profile, there would be a section that says, yes, Alex, you have received this badge. That also comes up in the notification side that I have received a feedback. I can also request feedback from different members. I can say, okay, Alex, please give me a feedback on what. So the request feedback, so I can give them the request. And that's also again visible to all club members or select members alone. All right. So that's pretty much it from the Basecamp side. I see the red card glaring at me. Yes, I see the red card. So this is just part one. Part two, we'll have much more advanced. So this is just an overview. I have covered the level completion that we require to complete the levels and how the Basecamp managers have to go about it. Now let's start. Let's open up the forum for questions and answers. Anybody? Yes.
I have not seen any question in the chat, but now the forum is open. If you have any questions, please unmute and we can ask directly to Maria.
So team, when there are no questions, I always say everything, everyone understood everything or nobody understood anything. I think that's one question.
Rakesh, yeah, please do ask.
Yes.
Mike, it's not a question, it's a concern.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense, till date, we had 3 people approving projects, levels and stuff, right? President, secretary, and the VPE.
Yeah.
But now since 7 people can approve, I have a concern, how far the integrity will be maintained.
Understood, sir. So what Rakesh sir has said, the integrity. So 7 of them, anybody can go ahead and say that. So let's maintain the integrity within the club level. So the XCOM can decide, okay, it will be only the VP who approves it. So you can set the ground rules over there. The reason that they allowed 7 members to go ahead is that so that they help the VP education approve it. Sometimes the VP education may forget a level completion and may not be available. So in that case, to curb that problem, they have asked the other members. And it can also be seen under the recent activities. Let's say that I'm a VPE. I have not approved a member's level completion, but it shows up in my recent activity. So it will be shown by who approved that particular person. So let's say, Rakeshji, you're my president, and Jibu has raised a level completion request. I missed it or I have not known about it. Few days later, when I come back to recent activities just to see what my members have been doing, I see that Jibu's level has been completed. So it will show by Rakesh Nair. So I know, okay, you completed it. So you are accountable. It is shown there who has completed it. If it's a VP education, they'll show this particular member has done it. So it's no longer anonymous. Who has completed will be shown, displayed there. So that should sort uh, the integrity problem. Again, it boils down to the club. We are all we are all ready to support the VP. So this is done to just support the VP. So let's maintain transparency and streamline the process. Let's not create confusion also. Club officer side, if you can decide who to approve the levels in case the VP is not there. You cannot approve your own level, so the secretary can never approve their own level. So again, that will be taken care of. So there will be somebody who knows it, and you can't go hand in glove. So the VP education can come back and say, okay, Rakesh has approved it and this person has not completed. So anybody else?
Maria, the one question from my
Yeah.
end.
So they for a different section, or you can download the evaluation. So we'll have to go through the conventional way. So let's say that you have an evaluator from a different club, then you'll have to download it and send it to them via email or only for the club members. So if you have Shruti who is evaluating you from your club, you can send it to them. They are trying to work on that enhancement, but they're not sure how far it will be feasible. We all had the
Okay,
same
and
question. Yeah.
okay, and if you complete the level, in the DCP dashboard, it will reflect immediately or take some time.
That will take some time, 1 day at least.
Oh, okay, okay, thank
Mhm.
Anybody? A quick update also, pathways completion will not contribute to your DCP. So you may complete your path, but it will not come on the DCP. It is the levels that count, and you have to complete your levels in a cyclic order. So I see Nisha has raised her hand.
Master Maria, I have a question
Yeah.
about the elective. See, I
Yeah.
see a lot of projects there. So I
Mhm.
can choose anything from that. Is
Yeah.
there, for example, I saw in level 4 that there should be a social media
Mhm.
presence.
Yeah.
That scale, do we have any suggestion? Like, do we have to look at any specific social media which is prescribed in the pathway? I've not done it.
Well,
I'm just
no. That's a valid question. It's actually a very valid question. So just give me a second while I share my screen once again. And I come down to level 3. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible. Is my screen visible? Yeah.
Yes.
So Nisha, as you mentioned, you have a lot of electives, and you can see that it is said there are 2 projects. But the Toastmasters International does not give you that this is recommended. Unlike your pathways, the elective project is your decision. It's your call. You don't have a prescribed elective that you can take. But you need to complete 2. You need to complete at least 2. Minimum 2 is required. So I can say that, I've delivered social speeches. I connect with storytelling. I chose them and I click on submit. Only then will it be shown under my electives. To understand what each elective is, you can just click on the card. You can see, okay, this project addresses the use of presentation software from identifying the topics that benefit from the use of technology. It gives you a description of what this elective is about by just clicking on it. So you can go ahead, explore each one of these electives and choose which works for you. So Toastmasters International does not suggest electives for you. That's your call. So if it has to show up in your left side panel, so you can see deliver social speeches, connect with storytelling, you have to select it and you have to click on submit. So if I say connect with your audience, I say select and then I go ahead for submitting it. It is there. I'm not going to select it because I won't be able to deselect it. I hope that answers your question, Nisha.
sure. Thank you so much.
So I had seen raised hands before. Was that a
Yeah,
mistake or?
yeah. Just, one question on that suggested learning. You showed somewhere there is a suggested learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is a free one. Anybody can enroll it. So if you
Yeah.
complete that, is also counted in the triple crown criteria?
Triple crown. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Alex, could you help me out in that? I believe triple crown is solely for the level completion, right?
Yeah, level completion plus pathways mentor program and
Oh,
DTM can be counted. Yeah,
so
that's
is
as
it
per
the
the earlier suggested learning. What is the suggested learning that you are referring to? Any specific ones or?
No, for
No,
me it is
whatever
pathways.
is
Yeah.
shown in the screen, yeah, the mentor program, yeah.
Yeah, pathways mentor program can be considered as a level 5 project. So that is pathways mentor program, the full program. Okay, so that means you have to and first understand. Have you seen that pathways mentor program? It is consisting of two particular parts. Earlier it was one, you have to mentor a person for a short period of time. Then it's a 6-month period of time mentoring. Okay, so that means you need 6 months of time to mentor that particular person. After you complete that, pathways mentor program itself is considered as a level 5 project. Okay, so once you complete, that is considered as a level 5 completion in a path. So that's why pathways mentor program is also considered as an educational level itself. You might not get inside for the DCP that we have to check. Okay, for triple crown pathways mentor program, if you have completed that fully, then that is considered as a level completion for triple crown. Also the DTM, as you know, right? DTM means the DTM award. Okay, not the DTM project. The DTM award as a whole, once you get it approved from the international, then that also counts as a level. I think that is also counted in the DCP, right? That is considered in the DCP. Yeah. Hope that is clear, right? So, yeah.
Yeah,
So we have to see whether there are any updations in the rules and everything is coming in the upcoming months, because a lot of questions about the recent pathways and everything. And there was one thing that was promised called exploration that is not yet here, right?
Yeah.
And they had mentioned about next time when the new pathways will be launched. Pathways, along with pathways, there will be something called explorations that will be launched. That is kind of a higher level of people who have completed a particular path. They can go for exploration, and it's not launched yet. Probably that will be coming at a later part. Probably more questions will come when the exploration is launched. Right? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Maria.
I see, Misha. Do you have a question?
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Maria, when you were explaining, at least there was a question about dynamic leadership. You said, can we purchase same project, I mean, same pathway again? But why do we do that? That's one question. And second thing, if at all, if I have, for example, I've chosen motivational strategies as my pathway and I've completed 5 levels. And the second time, if I want to do it again, so will that be something different from what I've already done? Or is that even possible?
So I'll address your second question first. That is, would it be different? I don't think so. It's going to be the exact same thing. So usually people go for the same path with an idea to improve it or fine tune the path. So once you have completed the path, they say, I want to improve the way I've done that path. They go ahead to complete it. So, I mean, to fine tune it or to improve. So that won't be different. It would be the same exact curriculum that you maintain. Now, buying the path or purchasing the path is at the same place that I showed first, that USD $20. Choose a path. So it's at the same place. You can't have two dynamic leadership or leadership development at the same time. So you need to complete one, come back to this place, choose a path section, and then go choose it.
Okay, fair enough. One related question. For example, if I've completed one pathway and in the first anyway, the level 1 there will be an icebreaker. In the second pathway there will also be a icebreaker. I would assume so. No.
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 Okay,
So
fine.
let's think of the projects and in each level as the engineering courses. The first year would be mixed. You would have the EC students and the CS students and the MEC students all together during the first year. That is your level 1. In level 2, that becomes your specialization. So when I say I am a visionary communication or I am planning to go for leadership development, all my projects from level 2 onwards would be catered to that. So all my projects would be related to leadership development. Explore a situation where you were a leader, or do something, you mentor a person, or run an initiative, and run an initiative from the forefront and explain your experience as that, explain your experience in a speech. It would vary for different people. So Jibu had innovative planning as his first path, and I had leadership development. Level 1 for us would be same. That's because we are just getting into the groove, just to, get us familiarized with the Toastmasters procedures and protocols. We are given the exact same thing. But from level 2 onwards, we graduate to the next level. So they fine tune us and they put us into specialization. So from level 2 onwards, mine and Jibu's paths were totally different. Related to planning, I had related to leadership. So there
Okay.
won't be an icebreaker. Icebreaker is just one time. And after that, it's all about how the path is.
Okay. Even if I choose a completely different pathway, so do you mean to say I will not have an icebreaker in level 1?
No, no.
Okay.
Level 1 will have level 1 for all the parts. All 6 parts will be the same. You will have an evaluation, then you will understand the vocal variety, then the body language, and then you would have an evaluation and feedback. So you take the evaluation and then you get the feedback and then apply the feedback into a second speech. All this is same across every single part. This is the first step and everyone has the same first step. But from second step, this is the second level onwards, that would be different.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience.
We'll take just one more question if anybody have. The last question of the day.
I have a question. How many of you are going to use a speech log?
I need to test it out.
I planned us, testing this to Jibu. I thought, okay, I didn't want to scare him by sending an evaluation. So I think there are no more questions. So in that case, thank you so much to my co-ADs, my division director. I acknowledge the presence of the division director, the division mentor, the division core team. Thank you so much. And special thanks to Jibu and Sanjana who loaned me their Toastmasters account so that I could go ahead and experiment with that. And yeah, I created the level completion request from Jibu's account to Sanjana's account just to give the demo. So thank you so much, Jibu and Sanjana, for accounts. Thank you so much and hope to see you all at the base camp and let's trek our way towards the Summit of Excellence. Thank you so much.
So since we don't have any further questions, we'll move on. I'll hand it over to Toastmaster Jyoti. Over to you. Jyoti, you're on mute.
Thank you, Jibu. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Some people say path is more important than destination. Others say destination is more important than the path. But Maria say, without the path, you cannot reach the destination. That is the Summit of Excellence. Thank you so much, Maria, for your insightful talk. And as we near the conclusion of this learning launch session, we have no words to thank Maria because she has break down each new features of this new pathways and made it very easy for us to understand. And it was incredibly helpful for us. Thank you for your patience and the time you have taken for us to break all these things in nutshells and all. Thank you so much, Maria. Then special thanks to Toastmaster of the Day, Rashmi Joy, for expertly guiding us through all this event. Thank you. Then your enthusiasm set the perfect tone for this event. That is the learning launch today's session. And many, many thanks to our distinguished Toastmaster, Mallika, because without her vision, this learning launch would not have been so much engaging, so much successful and all those things. Your leadership and vision play a crucial role in fostering a community of growth and excellence. Thanks. Thank you so much, Maria. Special thanks to Jibu Mohan for managing the Q&A session perfectly. Your efforts made the Q&A session very engaging and all were involved in that. Big thanks to Vishak Shashidharan, Area Jeevan Director at Master, for managing the virtual setup and ensuring that our session seamlessly accessible to all. Then Rajeshri Sridevi, the umpire, the red card holder, the timer for keeping us the time efficiently. And Alex K. Rajan for jumping in when some doubts were need to be cleared. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, to all our participants, thank you for your active participations. And without you, your presence is truly valued in Learning Lounge. Finally, let's not forget behind the scenes people who have worked hard to make this event a great success. Thank you all. Then as we reflect, that is the Summit of Excellence, let's carry forward the lessons we have learned here and stay always tuned to Learning Lounge, because there is so much to learn from Learning Lounge and so much to learn through Learning Lounge, because we believe that everyone can inspire and personal matters. All for being here and making use of this opportunity. Thank you and good night. Over to Mallika.
Thank you, Jyoti. As we conclude today's session on exploring the new Basecamp, I want to thank each one of your participation and engagement. And let's take what we have learned today and apply it to our pathways journey. And we have to contribute to the success of our club and to our fellow members. So keep exploring, keep learning, and let's continue moving forward together. With that, let me adjourn this session. Session closed.
Thank you so much, team.
We can stop the recording.